I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Queer Eye, episode 4, after show on AfterBuzz TV. We're so excited to be back. I'm your girl, Trina Dong, and of course, I have to be here, joined by Brian Santos. Hi, Brian.
Hello, I'm so excited to be here. Loved this episode. Can't wait to get into it with you.
This was a good one, guys. So we are talking about Tyreke from North Philly this time. He's been through a lot. Now he works for, what is it called?
So like
Mighty
writers,
Writers that supports children's literacy, and he's really killing it, but just needs a little bit of a boost on a couple things, some closure from the past. So we're going to talk about what he's been through. We're going to talk about his becoming proud of his accomplishments, finding some confidence, reconnecting with a woman that really was an inspiration to him when he was younger. And of course, we'll talk about the reveal with his look and his spot.
Yes.
So, before we start, let's talk what overall thoughts of the episode. What do you think?
So good. Loved it. It's funny, like I guess we'll get into it when we get there, but my overall thoughts would be I really connected with Karamo this episode. Especially when he reached out to Ruth. So that's what I love so much. I really want to dive into that because that was just such a special moment. So many special moments in this episode, and I loved how he just knew that he looked good. Like he was always just like, damn, I love this. This look is amazing. I love my new locks. Like, loved it.
Yes, absolutely. I loved it too. When the episode started with him giving out free backpacks with his friends, we knew we were in for it, for just like a really good guy that needs some help. So I was very excited about that. Let's get started. Oh, and not to forget our special segment later that we've loved so much. So stick around for that. So let's get into his story a little bit. He grew up in a home with his mother first, and then he got separated from his mother and his siblings and went to a woman named Ruth's home. And through conflicting stories, he had to leave that home around age 11 and go back to be with his mother, and hasn't seen her since. So he had to try to pick up his life. He was homeless for a smidge and just kind of had to restart, but now he's killing it with Mighty Writers. What did you think about his whole story? I feel like a lot happened, and he's been through so many different steps, and then the guys came just in time to catapult him out of it. What did you think?
That's honestly, you described it perfectly. That's the perfect way to describe it because he's been through so much and he's already on the amazing right track to pick back his life up, put it together, put on the right track. So he's right there. He just needs that little extra nudge from Tan to give him a little bit of a new look. He needs a little extra nudge from Jonathan to give him some new hair. So he already has all the tools he needs. Again, the guy just reminded him of what he already has and how he can use it to make his life even better than the Polly already is.
Yeah, absolutely. And so there's a lot of things that he's been in his apartment for a year, but there are still a lot of things that he doesn't have. And he was able to connect a lot with Bobby because Bobby had been homeless, and Bobby had been through a lot of the things that he had been through. So helping him with money, I think, was probably one of the most valuable parts of this.
Yes.
Because when you don't know, you don't have a bank account, you don't know how to get to where you're going, all you need is one connection, which is what Bobby did, to kind of say, have some of your freedoms back, as they put it, because if you don't have credit here, it's rough.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was absolutely amazing. What did you think about his apartment and that avocado ashtray?
Oh my gosh. I think that, I don't know who said it, but one of the guys said it best. It looks like kind of like a frat house, like someone just fresh out of college. That's just their first place. They're just grabbing that cute thing and they see in the store that they don't even need. But, well, this will be cute in the living room. This will be cute in my bedroom. So it was so fun. And I think he was really, really just doing anything he could to kind of spruce up this new place. And he kind of did have some stuff put together. Like it was a decent couch, it was a decent like bookshelf. So he did have some stuff already there. Again, he had the foundation, but now Bobby just came in. All the guys just came in and kind of just enhanced everything.
Absolutely. The cat thing got me at the beginning
The
because
litter box, right?
yeah, like if you don't deal with your cats and your house is kind of small, it's a little bit of a
Hmm.
mess. But the part that
Yes.
I felt the worst about the house is that he felt like he needed to sleep on the couch in
Hmm.
order to kind of stay driven, I guess, and to
Yes.
stay in it. And he felt he would be too comfortable in a bed. And what Bobby
Whoa.
connected later, I know I didn't get it at first, but then when Bobby connected it later, which we'll obviously talk more in the reveal, where he said, you know, you've earned a bed, you've earned a place to lay your head every night, and he's been doing great for like a year. What did you think about that? And do you think that that is like a relatable vibe?
I think so. Really quick, I'm gonna shout out Miss Tara Balls in the chat. We
Oh
love
yeah.
her. She says it's a
Yes.
very cool episode and also says ill to the cats. So hilarious. We love it. Thank you so much for being here, Tara and Amy. Everybody keep watching. We love you guys. Keep commenting. Let us know what you thought of the episode.
Yes.
But it was very relatable. At first I didn't get it, but then I thought of my own situation with actually it's like my room and my uncle. He always tells me, I'm like, hey, do you want to like take a nap in my room? He's like, no, I'm good because if I sleep on the couch, then I'm not gonna sleep too long. I still want to be able to do things. So it's really about this kind of
Mm,
idea of just like, okay, I have 1 second to just breathe and then I gotta move on and keep doing other things, you know. So I think that's what
wow.
he was dealing with and what Bobby brought out of him. It's like, hey, I get it. I understand this need to keep moving, this need to keep doing things, this need to keep growing and keep getting better. But it's
Yeah.
okay to take a break sometimes. And it's okay to have a place that you go just for a break. So I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. It's it's sad to have that fear of like
Exactly.
if you leave the hustle now that you have gotten to a
Yes.
place where you don't have to hustle as much, then you're afraid to go back. I really, really,
Yeah.
really felt for him. Okay, so let's keep it moving a little bit to the makeover.
Mm.
So the I don't know what well, everybody really, really, like you were saying, you connected with Karamo. I think all of the guys did an equal part in this episode
Yes.
because he needed everything. He
Yes.
needed the food, he needed the wardrobe, he needed the hair, he needed everything. Let's start with the hair because
Ugh.
I think everybody was just really like crossing their fingers that he would be able to keep the look that he wanted, but at the same time just structure it a little bit more.
Mhm. I
What did you
love that.
think? Yeah.
It was amazing, yeah, and I love what Jonathan does, and I think that all of them do this, but it's amazing how he knows he's great. He knows he's great at doing hair and grooming, but when there's a certain specialty that he doesn't know well or that he
Yeah.
doesn't think he can really bring to this person, he'll reach out for help. So he obviously got that
Hmm.
amazing, hairstylist to get in there and help him. Like she was like the same thing. She was like, "Oh, it looks great, but let me just tweak some things. Let me just
Yeah.
get rid of some of the loose ends. Let me just tidy it up. And I feel like you love it, but let me help you love it even more." So it was
Right.
amazing to see that, and I think he absolutely loved it. When they turned the chair, it was such a beautiful reveal.
Yeah, the confidence boost, it just like keeps going up every time. And then the clothes. So he was saying to Tan basically that he doesn't feel confident in what he's wearing and sometimes he hasn't gone to certain events because he couldn't afford the type of clothes that he
Hmm.
needed to wear to them. And so Tan takes him shopping, your favorite part, puts him in this like asymmetrical shirt with a kimono over
So
it. That look,
cute.
it was kind of a Karamo meets Tan kind of scenario that we
Yes.
had going on. What did you think of that whole shopping experience?
I thought it was amazing. And I loved how open he was to play with creativity.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people aren't as open. They're like, okay, I just need like, a classic black suit or I just need a good
Hmm.
shirt to wear everywhere. But he's like, no, 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 I want to go all in on fashion. I think he was so happy with Tan because again, the whole thing about money, he's like, I would love to look this way and to play with style and be
Yeah.
more creative, but right now it's not going to work for me. So when Tan's like, okay, I'm going to help you make it work for you. So the fact
Yeah.
that he was so open to playing and doing different things with his looks was amazing. And he looked amazing in everything. Everything was so great, so fun, so creative, and so him. Like you could feel his personality coming
Yeah.
through in the looks.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we get to Bobby, and Bobby takes him to Anthro, where he has some
Oh,
of
love
his
Anthro.
totally, where he has some of his decor that is being sold there, and he
Hmm.
ends up liking it, thankfully. But I thought it was really cool watching him get to have thoughts and an opinion
Yes.
on what he might like. instead of, you know what it's like to be broke. We all do. Like we're
Yeah.
all, sometimes you just have to take what you can get and you can't buy the thing that you need.
Yeah.
You have to buy the very, very downgraded version.
For sure.
So in this situation, I think it was fun for him to not have to think about that and just say, I like that. I like that. What did you think about, let's just talk about his entire interaction with Bobby throughout this whole thing, actually, because it was the decor, but then also he took him to the financial advisor and just kind of connected with him. What did you think about all of that?
Definitely. Again, the homemaker was amazing, and him having a part in it was so great. But I loved what he did with the financial advisor because again, it's about the doing. Like Bobby could be like, "I've been in your shoes. Here's what I did." But instead of just doing that, he's like, "Here's what I did, and I'm gonna help you do it too." So he took that extra step to bring him to that financial advisor, explain his story, and the financial advisor said, "Okay, this is what I'm gonna do for you. This is how I think I can help you." And it was so beautiful to see, and I just love how they connected on that, and that Bobby was able to help him in that aspect.
Yeah. And how about I learned a lot from that financial advisor.
Me
I
too.
was
I was
like,
like, check my credit,
wait,
girl.
what is that thing that you're talking about? Why? How? And it's crazy how you can just ask literally one question
Yes,
and suddenly so many questions get answered so fast.
for sure.
And I think that's a giant lesson to him and to us all. If you need something, ask about it and you will figure out how to prosper after,
Yes,
because
for
there are
sure.
people that know. That was crazy. She was saying all these things and I was like, oh, all you have to do is ask one question and suddenly you can have good credit. Good to know.
Yeah. I need that.
Okay, so let's talk about Ruth.
Oh my goodness.
So Ruth is his mother figure, his strongest mother figure. And he thought that because he was 11, he thought that he got kicked out of Ruth's house basically because he had written something in his journal that caused a fight. And so Karamo meets up with Ruth and we find out that's not the truth. What did you think about his talking through that with Karamo and his experience? To me, it felt like just a giant traumatic scar, but that he kind of maybe blacked out what actually happened out of fear, maybe? What did you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can see where you're coming from. That definitely makes sense. Like he kind of was just, he probably did know the whole story and he was just, and it's also a mind thing, he could have be suppressing the
Yeah.
memory that he has and he thinks he doesn't have it. But at the same token, I do think that when he finally got the answer, he was
Yeah.
taken back. He was definitely taken aback, like, oh wow, like because I think what Cromwell was trying to hit home with him was like, you are having this weight on your shoulders because you think it's your fault, but it was
Yeah.
never your fault. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry.
Oh,
But
there he goes.
literally,
Everybody. We lost him.
it's so sad. But
Yeah.
literally, and even with Ruth, that's what I was saying with Karamo and Ruth. What I loved about that interaction with Ruth as well is when she said, "What does he think happened?" And she said, "I want him to tell that to you."
Yeah.
Because I feel like with him setting that up, they got so much closure from both ends that they both truly needed, especially Tyreke. So I love seeing that, and I loved how he finally got the answers and how taken back he was because he knew that there was such a weight off his shoulders now.
Yeah. Well, let's fast forward a little bit then and just talk about that conversation for a second, because he basically said to Karamo that all he wanted to know is that he was loved by her. And that is what got me, because in his, in his brain, the family that he has is her. And then to not really know if that's the only family you think you have loves you, that's very scary. We even have, I know, sorry to make you cry. We have Tara Baltz in the chat says his biggest roadblock was his disconnect with Ruth. And that's so accurate because all he needed to know was that. So what did you think of that actual part of the conversation and how, because she basically said everything to him before he even had to ask.
Yes. Yeah. I loved it so much because, like I said, it just gave them both so much closure that they needed. I think for him, he just needed that. He needed that to move on. And like you said, Tara said it best with that roadblock. Like we talked about how he has all the tools he needs, but there was just something holding him back that couldn't let him get over that hurdle. Couldn't let him really achieve everything he wanted to do and live his truly his best life that he possibly can, and that's probably what it was. And he probably didn't even know it. Like anyone in his life didn't know that's what really was stopping him. So for her to just be so aware that, let me take that weight off your shoulders, let me help you, and let me give us both some kind of sense of closure and some sense of love, it was so beautiful to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, let's move on to the big reveal and all of the things. First of all, that meal that he prepared.
Oh,
He did that
I
all by
love a good
himself.
crab boil. Oh, come on, Joe's.
He learned that so well, and he prepared the heck out of it for all of his friends.
Mhm.
That looked really hard. I know the other stuff is hard too,
Mhm.
but there was just a lot going on, and he did it.
Seriously. Yeah, I loved it, and I loved how his conversation with Ruth was first. I loved how he
Yeah.
invited her over, talked things through, got that closure, and then he's like, "Okay, now we both feel better. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate and bring more people in. Let's celebrate with more people that I love. I want you to meet the people in my life now because you're so
Yeah.
important to me in my life before and moving forward." So it was such a beautiful thing to see. The meal was amazing. I want a good crab boil right now. So yes.
And then we have obviously the reveal. Let's talk about we talked about his hair a little bit, which is incredible and boosted the confidence, but then he got the clothes
Mhm.
and the closet, and he got a special made Tan got a
Oh,
tie-dyed
so
special
gorgeous.
made shirt for him. What did you think of the fit? What did you think of what was in the closet? Tell me.
Everything amazing. So
Yeah.
beautiful, so well done. And Tam just knows him. Like it's just this innate sense of just having some questions at the boutique, or kind of getting to know his backstory or what he wants
Mhm.
from his style, and being able to be like, okay, let me do something specific for you. Let me make you feel so extra special in these clothes because this is
Yeah.
something that you've really, really wanted for so long. So to have that couture piece that's just his
Yeah.
was, oh, amazing, over the moon.
Exactly. Okay, so the house. They walk into the house and it is like night
Mm-hmm.
and day. They threw
Yes.
every single thing out of that house and brought everything in. The way that Bobby opened up the living room
Mm-hmm. So
made so
pretty.
much sense. Made
Come
so
on,
much
Anthro.
sense.
We love a good sponsor.
I loved it. And then, but my favorite part, well, there are a couple of favorite parts, but my favorite part was the little office,
Mm-hmm. Yes,
because I think also that will help him maybe separate creative work and downtime.
for sure.
So
Yes.
maybe I can be in my office, I can be here. What did you
Mm-hmm.
think? What was your favorite part of the home makeover?
For sure. I 100% agree that it's the office because, like, speaking from personal experience, I find that too. Like, sometimes I'll just grab my laptop and work on my bed, and
Yeah.
it's not good. Like, it's not. Like, you really feel stress, and you're supposed to
Yeah.
come to your bed, you're supposed to come to your bedroom feeling de-stressed, feeling like you want to just unwind and take the day off. So to have that
Yeah.
special space, not even like, because people do it on their like dining room table or in their kitchen, but to have a special nook just for work, just to put all your efforts and all your mind into that work is amazing
Yeah.
to see. And shout out to Tara Balt. She loves the tie-dye too, and we love it. So amazing.
Yes. Yeah, that was definitely, but of course the best part is the bed.
Mm-hmm.
The nice looking comfy bed, and Bobby basically says sleep in it.
Yes.
You now
Please.
deserve to sleep in it. What did you think about, because he was a very it was like he was in a trance while he was looking through the
Yes.
house, just
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, very grateful, very thankful, but I think very shook at the same time that all of these things
Mm-hmm.
were his. What did you think about how we kind of wrapped it up and how we brought it together at the end when the guys said goodbye?
It's always so sad to see them say goodbye because I
Yeah.
know, like, just from that conversation, you can tell how much they've impacted someone's life in just this
Yeah.
short week. So it was so amazing to see that after you get the reveal, you get his new hair, his new look, his new
Yeah.
house, and he feels so amazing. And then he just brings it back and he's like, "I'm so grateful to you guys. I'm so thankful."
Yeah.
Just from his conversation, I could tell that he was trying to say, like, I've been through so much. I
Mhm.
really needed this. So I loved it so much, and I'm so so happy for him.
Me too, absolutely. And I loved that all of his colleagues were there to support him.
Mhm.
And when they were all watching him do the dinner, watching him meet with his friends, I think probably Karamo said, he doesn't think he has family, and now look at him. Like, look at how full this house is, and Ruth is there, and now his life is kind of complete. And so, as we were talking about, and as Tara said, the roadblock, I think now, without that out of the way, I would love to see where this guy is a year from now, because he's gonna kill it.
Yes, absolutely. His new office, he's gonna do some amazing writing work. He's gonna do everything in Philly, so I love it.
Amazing. I wonder if he's gonna use that typewriter.
Oh, cute, right? Yeah. He's gonna write his first screenplay or his first novel on his typewriter.
I was like, does that work? That typewriter is real cute, but there's no room on the desk to move it over and put a computer.
Right.
So... Okay. Well, that was our episode. We absolutely loved Tyreke. We loved watching this one. And now for our special segment, if they are ready. If not, we will do a little bit of stall. But we have one of our producers that's coming back to let us see if today they need Queer Eye Fellas, the Fab Five, or if they did it all on their own today.
Yes.
So we'll just wait.
1 second, let me grab him, guys. I'm getting him right now.
Yay! Ryan is on the way. If you don't know Ryan Nilsson, he is one of our producers, and he's the greatest. And he is the senior producer also of Popcorn Talk Network.
Yes, check it out.
He has some signature.
Actually, guys, we have a fill-in for today because we can't find him, but we have Stephen Lemieux, executive producer of AfterBuzz TV here.
Executive producer.
Executive producer of AfterBuzz TV.
Here we
Stephen
go.
Lemieux. Look at him.
Come on,
classic
sweatshirt.
striped,
We love a
long
sweatshirt.
sleeve. A fit.
Come
Oh,
on,
look at the
jeans.
socks.
Come on, the crop.
Yes, he's got a
We
great.
love a crop
Man, are
jean.
those tailored, Stephen?
They're asking if your pants are tailored. They're not tailored. He just bought them that way.
Just right.
Yes.
Ooh, they fit the right way. Stephen,
We love the asymmetrical, like cute. Yes,
work.
Yes.
What's the grade?
He gets an A+. What do you think,
A+
Brian?
for me. I love it. I love a good stripe, very subtle with a jean, crop, love. We love.
Doesn't need Queer Eye. He's killing it. And that's, I think, all we have for today.
All I would do is give you my chain. Borrow my chain. Yes.
Accessory.
A little
bit.
And then we're good. Amazing. We live.
The shoe to pant to sock ratio was killing it, I thought.
We love it.
Well, that is all we have for this episode of the Queer Eye After Show. We will be back at 7:10 p.m. for episode 5, and again after that at 8:10 for episode 6. But until then, what?
5 and 6.
Oh,
wait,
5
you're
and
in Central
6.
Time
No.
though.
Isn't it?
So
oh, yeah,
5 and
sorry.
6 PST.
5.
So yeah, 7 and 8 Central Time. Yes. Okay, we're on the right track.
Anyway, we'll be back at 5 and 6 Pacific Time. There we go. Until then, Bryant, where can everyone find you?
Yay! You can find me on all social platforms: Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at the Brian Santos, and check out AfterBuzz TV's gay Twitter.
Yes. When is that?
Thursdays at 5 p.m. and check out all our past episodes. We talk about everything from Lady Gaga to everything in the gay world. So check it out.
Perfect. And y'all can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Hey Trina Dong, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.